And welcome. We are in 303 and we turn now to lesson 46 of Mr. Conrad's Unstoppable volume on page 163. Let's begin in your journals for just a moment with a focus observation. Life is all about the test, a series of challenges. In fact, many people have defined the entire life that you live as nothing more than overcoming challenges of any number of kinds. The other thing we want to say as a focus here is what is your reputation saying about you? What is your reputation saying about you? It's an interesting question, and it's worth our time as we take a look now at lesson number 46. So let's now turn and go to work with this title, or with this chapter. In an attempt to improve student apathy toward taking the state-mandated CSAP test, a fellow teacher, Lance Scranton, and I decided to do something to help improve our test scores. We made a movie called Zap the CSAP, which featured a Rocky-style fight between me, a.k.a. Father Woods, and Lance, a.k.a. Brother English. The point of the movie was to illustrate that elective classes like Woods, band, art, etc. were just as important as the academics, English, math, and science. The movie was hilarious and well received at the old school assembly. It forced students to think about what their future may hold and to do their best in all their classes, including taking the CSAP. The assembly ended with a raucous standing ovation. Kids and teachers were going around the school saying, "Zap the CSAP." The State Department of Education got hold of the video and shared it with other schools statewide. It was awesome. On test day, Lance and I volunteered to take all the discipline problem kids ourselves, or any kids that were causing any problems during the test. What neither of us ever expected was how many students would be sent to us before the test ever began. As the students sauntered into our classroom, they thought it was cool that they weren't testing with the rest of their advisory classes. Instead, they were testing with the two movie stars, quote unquote. However, they began wondering why they were there after glancing around the room and seeing their testmates, none of whom were honor students. "I'm sure," quote, "I'm sure many of you are wondering why you are here today," I began. "The answer should disturb you. This classroom has been called many things, but know this, my young friends, this is where you get sent if you're causing problems or not taking the CSAP test seriously. The reason it should disturb you is because you were sent here before the test even got started. Someone figured you would cause problems, and that judgment was based solely on your reputation. So you see, your reputation got you sent here before your actions had the chance. Much like your shadow, your reputation follows you wherever you go. You are the only one who makes your reputation, and you are the only one who can break it. So ask yourself this question: what is your reputation saying about you? That's a line worthy of repeating. It's a fascinating line. Some of my students get really upset with this line. Leave me alone. No, I think this is a legitimate question. What is your reputation saying about you? Unfortunately for many of you, your reputation has preceded you. In other words, your reputation got you here before you did. After giving the chosen ones time to digest these words, I went on to say, "Now I believe each one of you is not only capable of taking this test, but will do so answering each and every question. Since this is your last chance, if you give us any problems, you'll take this test in solitary confinement in the box." At that point, I showed them the tiny 4x4 foot sink room where they would be moved to. Mr. Scranton and myself will be checking to make sure you take the test correctly and answer all the questions. With all eyes focused intently, I asked, "Are there any more questions?" All heads were shaking no in unison. "Well, let's begin and good luck. Oh, and one other thing. If you ever get sent back to this room in the future, you'll automatically go to the box." I'm proud to say, Lance and I only sent one kid to the box, and 100% of the test questions were answered. We never had any of the same kids return in the future. Not only did our CSAP scores go up that year, but I'm sure the reputation of some of those students did as well, because with a good reputation, you can answer yes when asked, "Are you a man of your word?" And then finally, he finishes this chapter by pointing out again, a good reputation is the foundation for the unstoppable you. Let's pause for a moment and jot down a couple of ideas in your journals really quickly. One, life is all about how seriously you take the test of life, the challenge of life. Does this mean you can't have fun? No, not at all. Life should be enjoyable and fun, But there are moments in your life when you have to stand up and take a challenge seriously to be competitive, we might say, and to take care of what's in front of you. We should challenge ourselves to do that. Number 2, it's an interesting idea. And as seniors, I think it's worth our time to at least consider it. Your reputation is built or lost over time as people watch you, get to know you, understand who you are and what you stand for. Therefore, number 3, if you have a bad reputation and you know it, instead of celebrating it as something meaningful for you, you embrace it in some way, it makes more sense to accept the fact that you have the bad reputation and to apologize to whoever it is that you can apologize to. And then finally, of course, change your behavior and begin to build a new reputation. My question to you is, of course, why wait? It seems to me you could start today by doing this. I had a senior once who took me very seriously on this. He said, you know what? My whole high school career, I have been known as a really bad student, and I've kind of embraced that. What you're saying right now is absolutely true, because there's coming a point in my future where I may not, are you hearing me? I may not get hired a job. Because in my sophomore year, I did something stupid like got caught cheating on a test, and then I gave garbage back to the teacher, and that teacher talked about me, and now all of a sudden I got a bad reputation, and here in 10 years I may not get a job because of that? Yeah, that's possible. Especially when you live in a small community. That's very possible. So I'm going to go ahead and address that. And he went to the teacher, and he put out his hand, and he said, before I graduate, I need to say sorry to you, because I screwed it up my sophomore year. Whoa, that takes some guts. Would you agree with me? That takes some guts to admit I was wrong, but I'm going to try and be better. Of course, he identified the way that teacher was just stunned. He said, you could have blown the teacher over. He's like, are you for real? The kid said, I am for real. I'm sorry, and I need to change. I need to change the way I think about my reputation, because my reputation speaks for who I am as I get older. People don't always forget, right? Some of you know that's the case, because the minute your last name gets used, people will often say things about your family and people who preceded you. Dude, it's not even you. It's your family's reputation. If that's the case, might I suggest, build your reputation, or maybe we should say it this way, rebuild your reputation in the ways that you can. You can't undo the past, but you can always apologize and then challenge yourself to do better. Well, there you go. I suggest you start that project right away. The Unstoppable program suggests as much as well. Thank you.